Regular meeting of the Kingman City Council to order on Tuesday, January 5th, 2021 at 5:02 p.m. And could we have a roll call, please?
Yes, we can. We just lost our deputy clerk trying to get some IT stuff worked out. So I will be happy to make the call. It may not be in the order you're used to. Sorry.
That's okay.
Mayor Miles.
Present.
Sue Ann Mello.
Present.
Ken Watkins.
Present.
Cherish Samily.
Here.
Keith Walker.
Here.
And Jamie Staley.
Present.
And Councilor Nelson is excused. She is ill. I believe that is everybody and the roll call.
So we have a quorum. I'd like to invite everyone to join Dennis Cronkright of the College Park Community Church, who will give us the invitation, and then remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Our great God and Heavenly Father, we thank you that we can seek you and look to you for guidance and for wisdom. And Father, we recognize today how desperately we need added measures of wisdom and help from heaven as we face so many different issues and issues that perhaps we've never had to deal with before. And so, Father, we thank you that we can call upon you, and we would do that now for this council and for this meeting, asking for your favor, asking for guidance for our city, that we might be led in such a manner that we could see the clear hand of God. We could see wisdom coming forth and helping us to make good, right decisions for the benefit of this city, and that would be pleasing to heaven as well. So we invoke your favor, your blessing upon this meeting, all the things that might transpire, different opinions that might be offered. Pray, God, that you would have your way in each of our hearts and lives as we surrender to you, and we ask all these things in the great name of Christ our Savior. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The council may go into executive session for legal counsel in accordance with ARS 38-431-03A to discuss any agenda item. The following items may be discussed, considered, and decisions made relating thereto. And our first order of business tonight will be appointments. The first commission is Parks, Aquatic, Recreation, and Golf, or the PARG Commission appointments. This commission has 2 members that are serving partial terms that expired December 31st, 2020. Both Roger Jacks and Bill Barnes have expressed interest in being reappointed to their first full 3 years terms that will end December 31st, 2023. Staff recommends the reappointment of both Roger Jacks and Bill Barnes to the Park Commission for their first full term, ending December 31st, 2023. Deputy Clerk Mauser, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
The reason I ask is I'm wondering if there are any statements or appearances on this item.
Not for this one.
Okay, then I would ask for a motion from our PARG. I think that's Councilwoman Mello.
Yes, Mayor, that's correct. I make a motion that we reappoint both Roger Jacks and Bill Barnes to the Parks, Aquatic, Recreation, and Golf Commission for their first full term ending December 31st, 2023.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries unanimously. The next commission is the Planning and Zoning Commission appointments. The terms of commission members Elizabeth Goss, Charmaine Keith, and Scott McCoy ended on December 31st, 2020. While eligible for reappointment, Commissioners Keith and McCoy have indicated to staff their intent to not seek reappointment. Commissioner Goss has expressed that she would like to be appointed to a second term. There is also one current application for Jason Marino, who is interested in serving on the Planning and Zoning Commission. Additional applications are being sought for the other open position. Staff recommends reappointing Elizabeth Goss to serve a second term ending on December 31st, 2023, and consider appointing Jason Marino to serve his first term ending on December 31st, 2023. Okay, Planning and Zoning, I think that's, well, first of all, are there any statements or people to comment on this, the commissioner applicants?
No, ma'am.
Okay, then I would ask for Councilwoman Staley. I think you are the liaison.
Yes, thank you. I am, excuse me, I am the liaison, and I would just like to say that Elizabeth Goss has really been a great member of the Planning and Zoning Commission. And so I would like to make a motion that we reappoint her and to also appoint Jason Marino to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Mayor,
Thank you. We have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Was that Councilwoman Samily?
Yes, it was.
Okay, we have
Mayor,
a motion and a second.
Mayor,
all in favor?
Mayor,
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Same sign. Ayes have it. Motion carries unanimously.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
Ms. Goss is here. We didn't realize, at least I didn't realize that. And she would like to share just her interest in continuing.
Absolutely. Please.
Thank you.
Please, we welcome her to the podium.
Sorry about the confusion.
That's okay. I just wanted to say that it has definitely been a privilege serving the city of Kingman, and that it's an interesting perspective to be able to represent a little bit of the younger community and get other people's opinions on things, and I've really enjoyed that, and it sounds like you guys are okay with me keeping doing it, so I say thank you very much.
Ms. Goss, thank you so much for your continued interest in serving as a commissioner for the city. We appreciate it. We also welcome Mr. Marino. We know that he has a lot of interest and vitality to bring to the commission, so thank you for applying. Our next commission is the Clean City Commission appointments, and that currently has 4 vacancies and 2 new applications on file. Commissioner Hollins is interested in being reappointed. He is a county resident. Of the remaining vacancies, only 1 is eligible for a county resident, and there's 1 application for that seat from Richard Hamilton. The other applicant is a city resident, Ron Oberg. Staff recommends reappointment of Commissioner Hollins for a second term ending December 31st, 2023, and appointment of Ron Oberg for his first term ending December 31, 2023. Appointment of Richard Hamilton for a first term ending December 31, 2022. Okay, the Clean City Commission. Council member, I'm not sure who's the liaison. Is that
Mayor?
Mr. Walker? Is that you, Vice Mayor?
Yes, Councilwoman Nelson is assigned to it, but I did have it. I did have it last year. I've been having it.
Yes.
And so if it's all right, I can comment on it.
Please do.
I think this is a great idea. Commissioner Hollins has been very dedicated in serving on that commission. And so I recommend that we keep him. And of course, those others who have turned in applications.
Uh,
So I make,
I would ask, is anyone there, Mr. Oberg, or is there a statement? I forgot to ask.
I have a statement for Mr. Ober.
Okay, would you please share that with us?
Yes, ma'am. He said, "I would like to thank the council for considering me to be a part of the Clean City Commission. My in-laws retired here 2.5 years ago, and I would visit a couple times a month to check on the construction of their new home. My wife and I fell in love with Kingman, and we bought a lot and built ourselves a home. I would love to work closely with our local contractors, subcontractors, property managers to assure we maintain a clean community. I sat on the board of Southern Nevada Home Builders Association and was the president of an HOA custom home community where we worked with Republic Service to establish the first recycling program. I feel very strongly that my knowledge and expertise could benefit our city."
Thank you, that sounds wonderful. Wonderful experience. Well, Vice Mayor, so you've made a motion, or?
well, I will
You
make an
want to-
official motion.
Okay.
How's that? I say make a motion that we accept all those who, Clean City Commission appointments as stated.
Okay, we have a motion, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Councilmember Walker. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, aye.
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 Any opposed, like sign? Motion carries unanimously. And our final commission this evening is the Municipal Utility Commission appointments. This has currently 3 vacancies. The terms of Paul Shuffler and Mike Van Zandt expired on December 31st, 2020. Elaine Parker has resigned from the commission effective December 31st, 2020. And 1 new talent bank application was received from Randy Dimmitt. Commissioner Shuffler and Van Zandt have both completed their 3rd term and have indicated their desire to be reappointed to the commission, but that will require a supermajority vote by the council. Staff recommends appointing Randy Dimmitt to serve his 1st term ending December 31st, 2023. Staff further recommends reappointing Paul Shuffler and Mike Van Zandt to serve a 4th term ending December 31st, 2023. Okay, the MUC liaison is, I'm not going to guess. I should know. You should know. Okay, well, then I would entertain a motion to approve the appointments. We know that Mr. Shuffler and Mr. Van Zandt have been long-serving and are excellent representatives on that commission. So I would entertain a motion on their behalf.
Mayor?
Yes.
That is Councilman Walker's new commission. Did you want to do that?
Okay. Councilor Walker, would you like to make the motion?
Yes, I would. I'll make a motion to approve, per staff recommendations, Rod Alber and, wrong deal here. Randy Dimmitt and Mike Van Zandt and Paul Shuffler to serve on the MUC Commission.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, aye.
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 Any opposed? Like sign. Motion carries unanimously. Our next order of business is the call to the public, comments from the public. Those wishing to address the council should fill out request forms in advance. Action taken as a result of public comments will be limited to directing staff to study the matter or rescheduling the matter for consideration and decision at a later time. Comments from the public will be restricted to items not on the agenda with the exception of those on the consent agenda. There will be no comments allowed that advertise for a particular person or group, and the comments should be limited to no more than 3 minutes. There are 3 ways to participate in public comment because this is a hybrid meeting. Those ways include in person, if you've registered there in the chamber, if you've registered to call in, or if you've submitted written comments. Madam Deputy Clerk, do we have comments or someone there that is signed up to speak?
No, Mayor.
Then let's continue. The next order of business is the consent agenda. All matters listed here are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. And tonight, I'm going to ask that item F, be removed for discussion. Does any other council member wish to remove a consent agenda item? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda items, the consent agenda as presented, items A through L, with the exception of F.
So moved.
I'll second.
I saw the second is Councilmember Walker. Who made the first?
Samily.
Thank you. Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda except for item F. All in favor, aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Okay, item F is the Kingman Airport Master Plan approval. In late 2018, Kingman Municipal Airport began the process of updating the airport master plan. The previously approved master plan was completed in 2006, and it is suggested that plans be updated every 10 to 15 years. At the November 2020 meeting, the Airport Advisory Commission approved a recommendation that the City Council approve and adopt the IGM final draft master plan. The airport master plan can be viewed by clicking the site, and staff recommends approval. The reason I pulled this tonight was I had a couple of questions, but also because this has been a very lengthy process for council of over 2 years. I wanted to again thank everyone involved in this that has brought this to fruition. We did get the report, but I'd like to thank Kaufman Associates, the airport consultants who worked with us, the Planning Advisory Committee that has put so much time and effort, and of course, our staff. And Mr. Husband, I see you there. Thank you for bringing this to conclusion. And you may have even been there when it initiated. I'm not sure. I think you were. Yeah. And so thank you very much. And everyone that worked on it. And so I wanted to recognize that because this is the plan for our airport for the next 10 to 15 years. And my understanding is the FAA has two things that they approve in this plan. They approve the aviation demand forecasts, and they approve the airport layout. And of those, they've approved one, but tonight when we approve this, then it goes back to, this is the question that I think it goes back to FAA for their final approval of the layout. Is that correct?
Madam Mayor, members of the council, that is correct. The demand forecasts were approved in the second phase of the process. And then in this final phase, and the reason that the airport layout plan actually is completed at the end, is it represents the all of the approved, the suggested development concept that we've approved for the airport. How we expect the airport to lay out the development that we plan to do over the next 20-year planning horizon. So that document is at the end. The airport layout plan is actually, it's called an airport layout plan, and that's one of the main sheets, but there's actually 14 sheets in a set, which include 7 of them are airspace depictions that show the airspace surrounding the airport, and the approach and departure corridors, and the angles at which the airplanes typically land and take off. And then there's a property map in there, and then there's a terminal area map, and then there's the airport layout plan. So there's 14 different sheets. And yes, once the sponsor, what the FAA refers to as the airport sponsor, which is the City of Kingman, approves the planning document, then they approve that airport layout plan. They actually only sign one sheet, and that's the ALP itself. And then the airport manager or airport representative signs two sheets, the airport layout plan and the property map that shows where we got all the property, which in our case is almost all of it was provided to us through the United States in a land transfer. So yeah, that goes to the FAA, and they'll make the final approval once that it's been approved by us.
Okay. So this is our final action as a council, prayerfully. And there was one other thing that I wanted to just inform probably the public regarding capital projects, because this plan has a beautiful layout of projected projects over a long period of years, but they're going to be accomplished as the capacity of the airport funding as well as state and federal funds are available to do that. Is that correct?
Yes, Madam Mayor and the members of the council, that is correct. So there's a very comprehensive capital development plan that is created in accordance or in conjunction with, as part of the airport master plan. And that shows all of the projects that we want to do over the next several years. And those are all typically grant funded and grant eligible. And so the planning, it's a great planning tool for the airport, but it's also a planning tool that's used by the FAA and ADOT so that they can identify the potential needs for the airport community, over the next 20-year planning horizon. So yeah, it's all demand driven. I mean, we expect, many of the projects are going to be the result of as the airport grows and as we need more, but there's many of them in there that are just capital maintenance, for example, reconstruction and renovation of the facilities that we already have here. And so as those demands come up, whether it's forecast and growth or whether it's needs to refresh infrastructure, then those primarily are funded through the FAA and ADOT grant program. I hope I've been clear in answering your question, Madam Mayor.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Are there any other questions or comments from the council members? If not, I will make a motion to approve consent agenda item F and approve the Kingman Airport Master Plan.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Councilmember Staley. I have a motion and a second. All in favor, aye.
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 Any opposed, like sign? The airport master plan is approved unanimously. Thank you.
And Madam Mayor, on behalf of the airport members of the council, I was here to initiate the initial kickoff with the consultant, and I'm very proud to be here at the end. And I want to thank the council and yourself for all of the support that you've afforded the Kingman Municipal Airport. Thank you very kindly.
Thank you, Mr. Husband. Thank you. Okay, we have no old business, no new business tonight. So we will, you'd think we'd be in a holiday season or something. So we will move on to the department reports for the solid waste survey results, and I will turn this over to Manager Foggin.
Thank you, Mayor. It is our pleasure to have this piece of the solid waste rate study done, and we're happy to be able to present this to you. I've asked Rob Owen, who basically spearheaded this with his team and the help of Tina Moline, to carry out this effort. You'll recall that we looked at the rates back, it seems like forever ago, but I think it was April, May of 2020. And one of the things that we discussed and the council wanted to know is, what was the ratepayers' preference? Once a week, twice a week, recycling, not recycling. So I think we put together an absolutely great survey that was put out to our solid waste customers. And so I've asked Rob to walk you through the results, which I think you'll find not only interesting, but well vetted. So Rob, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Foggin. Good evening, Mayor and council members. Tonight we have our solid waste survey results. As the manager had discussed during the solid waste rate study, council had directed us to do some creative public outreach in the age of the pandemic. So this was our attempt at that. So we're going to go through the results. If anybody has any questions along the way, please feel free to jump in. So the survey was conducted from November 9th to December 18th. We have 11,800 residential solid waste customers. And we received total responses of 1,966, which surprised me that we would get that many back. The other surprising thing to me was the responses to the old-fashioned paper surveys outnumbered the electronic format, the SurveyMonkey format, pretty handily. And it's just a note in here that as we go through, we'll get to the section with the options, and just to make the note that those the rates for some of those options changed slightly from the last time that we presented to the council. A big part of that was the fact that we relied pretty heavily on inmate labor, and we haven't been utilizing any inmate labor for the last approaching a year now. So the cost of that hiring that temporary labor is significantly more than the inmate labor costed. So this is a little bit redundant, but I know some people deal better with pictures and some people deal better with numbers, so I gave you both of them. So this is question number one is, do you reside in the city of Kingman? Overwhelmingly yes. Oops, let me go back. And then this is the breakdown of those responses. Over 96% of the respondents stated that they resided in the city limits. And this is, again, we currently provide twice a week trash collection to our residential customers, and this is just a question on how satisfied they are. And, we're really proud of our solid waste folks. I know, especially this week, being the week after Christmas, is probably the worst week of the year for them. So they've been working. There might be some of them coming in through the office now. They've been working pretty late. So we're real proud of them, and the customers seem to appreciate the work that they do. And as you can see, almost 90% of our customers that responded were very satisfied with their solid waste service, which is pretty incredible. Question number 3 dealt with the drop-off recycling program and how often you used it when it was in place out here. The leading answer was never. The second highest answer was weekly. And you can kind of see the breakdowns there. Again, never is the highest answer, but weekly is not too far behind, and then the other two are kind of in the middle. Question number 4, so when we had talked about the possibility of going to once a week trash collection, we wanted to get a sense from the customers on how comfortable they were with that. So, we asked questions about, how concerned they would be with 3 different categories. The first one being odors and smells. Again, the respondents were very concerned about that. 44% of them were, and then 27%, which is somewhat, not at all. This question dealt with rodents and pests. Again, these are the areas that if you're going for a variance for once a week service, you have to come up with a plan to address these areas, and that's why we included them in the survey. So rodents and pests, again, the leading answer was very concerned. And again, here's the breakdown, 40%, and then 25 to 32. And then accumulation of trash, this is where most people were concerned. That was over half of the respondents were very concerned about the accumulation of trash. So here's where we get into the service level options. So option number one is to maintain the current level of service. That's twice a week trash pickup with an average 5-year increase of $1.29 a month to a rate of $21.07 monthly. Option two would be to maintain the current level of service and provide a drop-off recycling program with an average 5-year increase of $3.11 a month. Option three would be to reduce the current level of service to once per week trash collection. And that would be an average 5-year decrease of $5.46 a month. And then option four would be to reduce the current level of service to once a week trash with the drop-off recycling program. That would be with a decrease of $2.74 a month. So out of this, option one was the most popular selection, and that's maintaining the current level of service. And here's the breakdown for those. Option one came in just under 25%. The other three options were in the 11 to 12% range. Now, this was a follow-up question to this. In some jurisdictions, if they offer once a week pickup, you can pay an additional fee for a second can. So it's still once a week pickup, but you would pay this additional fee to be provided with a second container. So you could roll out 2 cans on your trash day. So the answer to this question was no. And then yes, and it depends. And obviously the it depends part is how much does it cost? And, that was something that we hadn't priced in the rate study to this point. I guess we were able to look at these responses to see if that's something we should pursue. And then this is the breakdown for that second can option. So about 38% of our respondents said that they would not use or need a second can. So with that, I can try to answer any questions you may have. I think the responses were pretty informative for us. And like I said, I think we got a lot better response than I thought we would. And I guess I'd just like to say with all those paper responses, I'd like to thank everybody who helped us tally those responses, because that was quite a little project, and it turned into our little Mark Twain painting the white picket fence project, where whenever anybody came to my office, they left with about 100 surveys to tally. So I appreciate everyone's help on that. So that's all I had. So if anybody has any questions or comments or any further direction, that would be appreciated.
I had a question. I'm just curious, Manager Foggen, doesn't Bullhead City have a once a week pickup?
I'm not sure what.
I popped out a minute, but I saw the end of your presentation, Rob, in my Zoom. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We'll get you.
Thank you for that presentation. I would open the floor for questions or comments.
Yeah, Councilor Mello had a question. Her question was, how often does Bullhead City have their trash picked up? First of all, they are served by Republic Services, as I recall, and they tried to enter a new contract that did not go through, but I believe based on where they are once a week, no recycling.
Any other questions? I guess I would ask, now that we've had the survey results, which will informs us very well how kind of people are thinking, or at least a lot of people. First of all, I would say, as always, thank you. We have a great staff, and over all the years I've been here, this is always the same. People love the staff, they love the pickup service, and I think we're just very fortunate. I also realize that we have some decisions coming up as we do our budgeting process. So my question is, what are the next steps with respect to this dialogue and this decision making?
So Mr. Hagen, do you want me to take that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Council. So the next steps would be to take the survey results and then the staff recommendation to the Municipal Utilities Commission at the end of this month. So they have a meeting on January 28th, and we'll be taking it to them to review all of the data and then bring a recommendation to Council. The second meeting in February is what we have it slated for right now. So it would be a notice of intent, and then we would hold a public hearing. In April, and then at that point, make a decision. And that's the time frame right now. And depending on what the commission recommends and whether or not the council, is aligned with that decision, we may change that timeline.
Thank you, Director Moline. And then my other question goes to the actual equipment. I know that there's so much repair and maintenance that has kept our fleet operating in this area. Are the rates that you were including in that survey considered adequate to address some of those issues?
Yes, ma'am. That includes an equipment replacement plan.
Okay. Wonderful.
And Mayor, I would jump in on that and just say that based on where we are with the rates, we are a little bit behind according to our estimates for budget and when that's going to occur. But we're absolutely going to make sure that with the rate increase that we can accomplish both the operating and capital project side of solid waste, something that has not been considered or taken into account for, as you can see, rates haven't been changed since 2007. And I would hate to really know the cost of our aging equipment, both on our personnel, time, and repair costs, because it's right now staggering.
That's what I thought. So I'm very glad. I very much appreciate the effort that's gone into the analysis and into the survey of our residents. And so we'll look forward to finding out what our Municipal Utilities Commission recommends. Any other comments? Thank you so much, Director Owen and Director Moline. Thank you as always.
Thank you.
So I think the next item will be announcements by the mayor, city council members, and city manager. These are limited to announcements, board and commission liaison reports, availability and attendance at conferences and seminars. Manager Foggin, would you start us off?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. I only have one announcement, and that is just to remind the council that we have our budget kickoff meeting that is scheduled for January 20th. Just want to make sure that that's on your calendars and that you're able to attend. We will offer that, of course, in the same way we offer this meeting, both virtually and in person. 4 o'clock, yes. And we will basically follow the same format we followed for the last couple of years, which will be to give you a review of where we are in the 2021 fiscal year and to give you the year forecast for revenue and expenditures for the upcoming years. So I'm looking forward to that kickoff. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Manager Foggin. Well, I'm going to, I'll just ask Councilmember Mello.
None tonight, Mayor, thank you.
Okay, Councilmember Walker.
Nothing tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Samali.
Nothing for me, Mayor. Thank you.
Councilmember Staley.
I have nothing else this evening. Thank you.
And Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, it's hit home the fact, and of course, I believe in respecting freedoms and all that kind of stuff, and so I'm saying, you know, as far as wearing masks, I know we've seen other discussions and that kind of stuff, and of course, here as a city in the complex, we wear masks when we're moving around, and I would just like to encourage the public to wear a mask. I don't want to have to make it mandatory, but I would like to just, you know, exercise your right and choose to wear a mask. Does that make sense? You know, one of my employees this last December, this last 30 days has had a tough go of it. He's lost his mother and his mother-in-law because of COVID. They were above the age of 70. You know, they had certain risks, and anyway, once again, I respect everybody's freedom, but I would encourage to make that choice. That's all.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Is there anyone that I did not call? I know Councilmember Nelson is not here. Did I get everyone else, I hope?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then my announcement basically, I certainly would echo the Vice Mayor's request. The one meeting that has continued to meet every week during the holidays and will continue every week for the foreseeable future is the vaccine distribution meeting that we are part of as part of the Kingman region distribution. And I really am appreciative for our health department and all of the providers who are working hard now to get the vaccines given to our 1A population. And, you know, I would love to say it's seamless, and it's a very complex logistical issue. And so I give kudos to everyone who's part of it, because everyone is dedicated to getting people vaccinated, those people that want to be. I am going to encourage people not just to wear masks, which I will tell you with the surge that is happening, it's so critical to protect each other. And it's also important in the end to really consider this vaccine as one of the best protections that we're going to have. And I know a lot of people are resistant, but I really think that we've got many of our leaders in the community that are, you know, in our first responders that are getting vaccinated and showing the way that it really is not going to hurt you, and they are stepping up, and I would encourage everyone who is eligible when the time comes to consider it and to get it. I think that's all I really have to say about that, and just that we will continue our concerns about COVID in our community and in our state and in the nation, in the world. But with the vaccine, we have a shot to get it going in a more contained direction. But in the meantime, and that's going to take months to get those vaccines all broadly distributed. So please do the right things. Okay, that seems to be it, except for council requests for future reports and updates. Do any of the council members have a request? I do, and Manager Foggen, this is one that links to what I just was talking about. I think I would like to keep the council informed of how we are doing in the city in terms of COVID, in terms of cases, in terms of vaccinations. And I know we can't get personal information, but just in numbers or percentages, how it's going.
Okay.
I noticed yesterday in the county that they were reporting on those issues in, well, especially the cases in the county, and I'm hoping that our numbers are not going to, I know we've been very careful, so I'm hoping the numbers are not consistent with some of the things that I heard anyway that the county is experiencing. So is there anything else that anyone would like to mention in terms of request? Then I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you.
I second
Councilmember
that.
Walker?
I second that.
Motion is second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I
Meeting's adjourned. Thank you, everyone.